within the generating bodhicitta, then we can chant entering the middle way, the sixth groan, the manifest. Therefore, let's say how things exist and arise. So we have to know whether you believe in religion or not, but things are there. Whether you believe in religion or not. So we have the mind. We have so many different kinds of minds. Some minds give us happiness, satisfaction. Some minds give us a lot of sufferings, a lot of problems. So we can feel it. But why we have a lot of negative thoughts? Why we have a lot of positive thoughts? How the negative thoughts arise within ourselves, in our mind? Then, according to Chandrakirti, according to Nagarjuna, according to Buddha teaching, according to all the four different schools, they assert that ignorance is the cause to arise all the negative thoughts. Therefore, we need to stop. We need to eliminate the ignorance. How? That means there are two kinds of ignorance. Ignorance of the phenomena, general phenomena, and particularly ignorance of the person. Within these two, first, we need to recognize how the phenomena exists. In order to truly recognize how the phenomena exists, then we need to know, is there any causes condition to exist or not? Therefore, if something is there, things are there, this means how things are arise, exist. Then below the Pasangika schools, below include the Swatantika school, Chitta Mantra school, Vaibhashika school, Sutrantika school. Everybody believe all phenomena exist. Not only just exist by their own side. Right? Then Nagarjuna said, if this is the case, then there are only four possibilities. If things arise by their own side, by their own, that means you have to believe things arise by self. Option number one. Option number two, things arise from other. Things arise from both. Or things arise from causeless. Right? If things arise by their own, its own, then there are only four possibilities. Therefore, sentence number 6.8, not originating from itself. And how from something other, not from both. How from no cause. If things originated from themselves, nothing is gained. Furthermore, something already born cannot repeat its birth. If things arise from itself, then there's a reason. If things originated from themselves, nothing is gain. This is the logic. So first they need to refute. There's nothing arise themselves or itself. First, if you are able to refute in your mind, if you are able to believe there's such a thing cannot be arise from themselves, then second, very easy. Because it's other. Also other doesn't mean, for example, cause and effect are two things. They are not just one. Cause, for example, based on a sprout, based on a tree, the tree cause is not the effect of the tree. The tree effect is not the cause of the tree. Therefore, the tree cause and the effect of the tree is separate, each other is separate. It doesn't mean thing arises from other. For example, smoking, right? Smoke arises from where? Arises from fire. The fire is other than the smoke. Smoke is other than the fire, but it doesn't mean the smoke arises from other. Yes, the fire is other than the smoke. It doesn't mean the smoke arises from fire. It doesn't mean the smoke arises from other. So then what does mean arise from other? Right? Therefore, also we need to know there are four tenets. Things arise by themselves, claimed by all the four Buddhist schools except Pasangika. The second, things arise from other, is claimed by, asserted by Chitta Mantra. Both also Chitta Mantra. Now, causeless, thing arise by causeless is the non-Buddhist tenets. One of the non-Buddhist tenets. Because among the non-Buddhist school, there's a particular school that they don't accept cause and effect. They don't accept previous and next life. So according to their point of view, thing arises from causeless. There's a four different school. Therefore, there's a four different view. Thing arises from themselves, thing arises from other, thing arises from both, thing arises from causeless. The things arise from causeless, the view is very easy to reject, very easy to negate. Once you are able to negate things arise from other, then thing cannot arise from other and both. Other and self cannot. So here very much emphasized, there's nothing can be arise by themselves. Right? Therefore, the second line, if things originate from themselves, nothing is gain. Right? That means things arise from itself, then the thing doesn't need any cause. It is arising by itself. Therefore, in Buddhist tradition, we cannot say, it cannot be truth. We say, oh, it's happened by itself. nothing can be happen by itself. Also, when we visit, like Buddhist holy site, like when you go to Tibet in Bhutan, they people tell you a lot of story. Or this Buddha arise by itself, arising Thara, arising by itself, arising, naturally arising. There's nothing we can say something arises by itself. If something arises by itself, the things which is arise by itself, it doesn't have any causes condition. Other thing, according to Pasangika, things arise depend on other. It doesn't mean thing arise depend on other. It doesn't mean thing arise from other. Right? The second reason is, furthermore, something already born cannot repeat its birth. For example, first we put a seeds on the ground, then the seeds arise, transform into sprout, then it produces another seeds, then the seeds produce another seeds. Right? If thing arises from itself, then we cannot have this kind of concept, because thing not need to depend on causes condition. Then number 9, 6.9, if you concept that what is one arise can arise again, the growth of the sprout and so on will never happen in this world, and seeds will produce themselves until the end of the time. So how can the sprout bring about seeds and cessation? So this also rejecting nothing can be arise by themselves. Now we think about mostly, things arise by itself. Now this is, I think, very profound kind of view from one of the non-Buddhist school. For example, generally we can see, the sprout is growing, then the sprout become bigger and bigger. Finally, there's a big tree. So one of the non-Buddhist school, they say, it's appear to our eyes, just appear to our eyes. But the seeds of the tree, and tree is one entity. The tree and the seeds of the trees are just one entity. Right? One entity. Then how come the seed is so small, the tree is so big? And from their response, they say, yes, for us, the tree is already there when the seed is there, but it cannot be appeared to our eyes. That means the seeds and the tree are just one entity. If this is the case, then when the seeds arise, is growing, then we have to say that moment the tree is also growing there, right? Growing there. Then second moment, let's say when the tree fully grow, also they have to say the seeds is grow there, because the tree and the seeds are just one entity. When we look at the tree and the seeds of the tree, but we can see is a totally two separate phenomena. For them, just one entity. Therefore, they have to say the tree grow, repeatedly. Every moment when the seed change, then the tree has to change. But we cannot accept this kind of idea. Now from there all the way, until the paragraph number 14 is truly refute the arising from themselves. Until 14, 6.14. No, what call it 6. I think there's some problem in my page. 6.14. 6.7, 6.9. Oh yeah, my page wrong. 6.9, 6.9, page number 10. Six point 8, 6.9, yeah, 6.10, 11, 12, 13, 6. Yeah, 14. Plus 6.14, since there, it refutes to arising from other. If something can originate from something other, then pitch darkness can originate from burning flame. In fact, everything could arise from everything. For after all, being other quality pertains to all non-producing things. So from here all the way to refuting the sadness of person, then there's so many different kind of like a position, and also particularly they refute the Chitta mantras, the unique kind of position. Okay, now we thought, I think there's no point to read all the sentence. So before we start the next class, I give you a very simple instruction. Now just everybody think how things exist. Without looking at the book, you think yourself how things exist. Are they existent or they are not existent? Yes. So when we think that things are not existent phenomena, then how come I can see, I can touch, when I feel thirsty, I can drink water, I feel stressful. We cannot deny things are not exist. Right? Then second, definitely things are exist, there are existent phenomena. Then how the thing really they exist? How? They exist by itself. This arise by itself or not. So when we think about, first we think, things arise by itself, by themselves, then definitely we can say this is the case then things doesn't need any causes condition to arise. Thing doesn't need any causes condition to establish. For example, like we human born depend on our parents. We cannot born by ourselves. So when we walk, around, we cannot walk by ourselves. We have to depend on the legs. This means nothing can be exist, established, arise by itself. This means is reject the independent entity. Now second, yes, we can think, we cannot accept thing arise by itself, thing arise by established by itself, then maybe thing arise from other. Because I was born because of depend on my parents. My parents are other than me. I am other than my parents. Therefore, I arise from other because my parents are other. Then we must say, no. This is not the meaning of arising from other. Then what is the meaning of arising from other? That means there's a definition, there's a kind of meaning of what does mean arising from other. Substantially existent cause. Substantially existent cause must produce substantially existent effect. Substantially existent effect must arise from substantially existent cause. This is the definition of, definition arising from other. Because below the Pasangika, even though the Swatantika, they cannot accept the substance entry of substantially existent. Because for them, whatever things they are, the things must established by two sides. One from the subject side, depend on from the subject, the man and thoughts, name. Second, must come from the subject itself. If it come from both sides, then we can say this is a cup, this is a table. Only input it. Merely designation, we cannot establish the things as a table. Without designation, also we cannot establish the table. The table must be established depend on the two conditions. One from the name and thoughts. Second, must exist, arise from substantially. Then two together, we can say this is a cup, this is a table. That means definition, the definition of arising from other. Being both arising from other, who assert arising from both, from other and both. This view comes from one of the non-Buddhist school. I think Sankhya. According to Sankhya tradition, things arise from by itself, things also arise from other. Then causeless, another one of the non-Buddhist school. So why we need to know, we are not interested to know how, the Chitta Mandara believe, how the non-Buddhist school believe. For we have to learn in order to have a right view on all phenomena. Because if we have a wrong view, then we have all the negative thoughts. So make sure our thoughts, our view is in the right view, because if you think something arises from other, then your view is very close to this school. If you tend to believe things arise from other, also then your view is close to that school. If you believe things arise from both, that means again your view is close to one of the non-Buddhist school. Therefore, in order to establish the right view, then we have to reject, refute the four extremes. Extreme of arising from self, other, both, causeless. Clear? Okay, this is, I think, today class. So before we start our new kind of lesson, any question?
Geshe-la?
Yes, please.
Today's lesson is very profound. Is it possible that you give another summary again?
Okay, definitely, why not? First, make sure you know everybody can, quite clear about the background of the entry into middle school, entry into middle way. Among the 5 treatises composed by Nagarjuna, the Mula Madhyamaka Karika is one of the most profound, important teaching. At the beginning of the composing the Mula Madhyamaka Karika, Chandrakirti prostrated to Buddha Shakyamuni based on, saying, you teach the dependent origination. Then there's a X. After the salutation to Buddha, then Nagarjuna made a very important statement, totally different from the rest of the school. Important statement. He made this important statement based on the Parajana Paramita teaching, also the 10 Bodhisattva Bhumi. In the statement, he says, nothing can arise inherently, ultimately, independently, arise from inherently, independently, substantially, ultimately. Nothing. Right? Therefore, the sentence is, I will explain more clearly. If something arises, establish inherently, then essentially, inherently, ultimately, is the meaning is same. Something arises from inherently, then there's only 4 possibility. 4. What are the 4? If something arises inherently, then the things must be arise by itself. Number 1. Then number 2, if things arise by itself, then the thing must arise from other, or both, or causeless. So he refutes the four extremes: arise from self, arise from other, arise from both, arise from causeless. Then directly he refutes these four extremes, and he established the emptiness of the inherent existence. Therefore, the sentence from the Mula Madhyamikavatara, neither from itself, nor from other, nor from both, nor without a cause. Then the last sentence is very important. Thus, anything whatsoever, anywhere, ever will arise. Anywhere, ever arise. For example, during the winter time, like in the Himalaya, during the winter time in Himalaya, you cannot grow like a barley winter, right? Due to something can grow certain season, cannot grow certain seasons. For example, in the Himalaya, you cannot grow the barley in the winter time. But the barley can be grow winter time in like Indonesia, in Malaysia, and in Singapore, right? That means something cannot be arise sometime, but it can be arise sometime others. But arising from inherently existent, inherently arising, cannot arise anywhere, anytime. Therefore, the last sentence is saying, anywhere, ever arise. Also, we should not think, yes, according to Pasangika, from their point of view, thing cannot arise by inherently. It cannot, arise from their point of view. From their point of view, they cannot say thing arise from inherently. But maybe can be arise from, based on the other school. Also, it is impossible. Therefore, you need to know the background, the kind of statements. Then, rest of the Mula Madhyamikavatara is explained mainly for, rejecting mainly this force. Then second, when it comes to the entering the middle way, therefore Nagarjuna very much emphasized about the profound meaning, which is emptiness. In the Chandrakirti, he very much explained the profound, also explained the vast teaching. At the beginning, bodhicitta, emptiness, compassion, then 5 perfections, particularly 6 perfections with the emptiness. So among the 10 ground like chapter, the 6th chapter is one of the longest chapter, because it is linked with the Mula Madhyamikavatara mainly, particularly linked with the refuting the 4 extremes. So this is the background. Now we have to be in the center. Okay, we should not think, oh, Nagarjuna is very right. I want to follow him. So we have to stay in the center. We need to think who is the really truth, telling the truth. So sometimes you think, oh, Nagarjuna view is very correct. Sometimes you can feel the Nagarjuna view is is wrong. It's okay, you can think this way. So we have to be in the center. Okay, according to Pasangika saying that. According to one of the non-Buddhist schools saying that. According to Chitta Mantra saying that. So whom should I follow? Then if you tend to believe, thing arises from itself. That means your view, your belief is more tend to one of the non-Buddhist school. If you believe, honestly believe, oh, things cannot arise by itself, but is arise from other, then you need to know what does mean arise from other. What does mean? What is the meaning of arising from other? Then I told many times, smoke arises from fire. Fire is other than the smoke. Smoke is other than the fire. It doesn't mean the smoke arises from other. Then what's the meaning? Arising from other. That means, please make sure you catch this one. Arising from other mean the things arise from substantially existent cause. Substantially existent cause produce or arises effect. That means the cause and effect totally separate substantially. This is the definition or meaning of arising from others. Meaning arising from both, mean is arising from itself, also arising from other. Also, this is view from one of the non-Buddhist school, I think Sankhya. Sankhya is one of the oldest Hindu tenets. Most of the Hindu schools tenets originated from the Sankhya. So according to Sankhya tradition, how they believe cause and condition. For example, seeds of the tree. Seeds of the tree. So when you see the seed is very little, it's very small piece of thing. Then there's a tree which is produced from the seeds. The tree is very big. From their point of view, the seeds and the big tree are just one entity, which the seeds and the production of the seeds, which is the big tree, are one entity. Then how come 2 years ago I saw the seed was so small? After 2 years I saw it's a big, like a sprout or tree. Then there's a no. When you saw the seeds, that time you see only the seeds. The tree didn't appear to you, but the tree is there. Therefore, arising from itself. Then there's a problem according to the Chandrakirti said here. So, 6. If this is if things originated from themselves, nothing can gain. Gain means develop furthermore. So I gain knowledge means before I didn't have a knowledge, slowly I have a more knowledge. Things arise from themselves, then there nothing can be developed. In order to develop, further develop, usually we need to, it depend on many conditions. If you believe things arise from themselves, then there cannot be gain. The second reason, if things arise from themselves, then furthermore, something already born cannot repeat its birth. Right? That means things cannot grow two times, like logically. Logically, once grow, things grow only one time. One time. Because first moment and second moment arise, first moment cease. The first moment cannot arise again. If the first moment things arise second time, third time, then the first moment thing can be permanent. If the first moment is permanent, the first moment cannot produce the second moment because first moment is permanent. When something produced by something, the thing have to be changed. For example, when you put a seed on the ground, add a water, next day you can see the seed has changed, become more wet, then slowly produce the sprout. Right? Therefore, furthermore, something already born cannot repeat its birth. Therefore, if you said things arise by itself, then you have to believe, repeat born, repeat arising. According to Buddhist tradition, we cannot believe in the repeat, repeat, like born 2 times and 3 times. Cannot. So, okay. So this is, I think, little summary for this class. And also, I think many of you, doing the Nalanda course, also, many of you have been studying Lamrim, have been studying in different texts. Please make sure, when you study, first you study, then you think. For example, today we studied about nothing arises from self, other, both, causes. Now you think it is arising from itself, arising from other, arising from both, arising from causeless. So if you really think by yourself, not just reading the books, if you really think according to the teaching, according to the book, then your understanding is become more clear about the real phenomena. Then slowly your understanding become more close to the truth nature. Truth nature can be independent, can be dependent. So far we said everything is dependent, maybe it's very independent. We have to know based on our own study, own experience. We don't just follow the teaching, we just read the book, study the teaching, and try to understand the truth. So if you try to understand the truth by yourself, rely on this teaching, then your understanding is become more clear about the truth, more close to the, the real nature. When your mind is very close to the real nature, then when you really know the truth, then there's no any basis to produce anger, attachment, desire. Desire, right? We have, I told you in the morning, in the class, beginning of class, we have so many negative thoughts, misunderstanding, misperception. This misunderstanding, misperception we have because we never try to understand the truth. Therefore, we have misunderstanding, we have a misperception. You really try to learn, try to understand that what's the really it is. Then all the misperception, going to be disappeared. So therefore, you must study. Not only study, you really need to think. When you look around, you can see, oh, there's a car, there's a house. How the houses exist? It is merely imputation, merely designated phenomena, or something else. So when you having like a food, also reflect how the food is established. It's just merely in designated phenomena, or it has some unique things to be a food, to be a cup, right? So there's a two options. Things arise from dependently or independently. There cannot be in between. Or can be empty of inherent existence, or can be established by inherently. There's only two options. There cannot be like third options. Okay, so any question related to the intermediate way? No question, right? I think quite confused. Any question? Wenji, is there any question?
Geshe, so far no, none.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next we open the, what do you call, essence of the true eloquence. Okay, page number 5. Among the detailed explanation. Everybody, do you remember the three things, three phenomena, which is, we can include all phenomena. What are the three things which is we can include all phenomena?
Other powered, imputation, thoroughly established phenomena.
Very good. Yeah, that means imputed phenomena, other powered, truly established phenomena. But this text mentioned the imaginatively constructed nature. So when Buddha said, from form to the omniscient, from form to omniscient, all phenomena empty of to reality. Then many of the disciples fully understood the meaning of emptiness. Then there are so many disciples who are confused about the meaning, right? Very good. Therefore here, the question, what is the identity and reality of the things? The question. The answer, it is imaginative, constructed nature. So, that which Sonam said, imputed phenomena, imaginatively constructed nature are same. The meaning is same, right? That means all the imputed phenomena, all the imaginatively constructed nature are the identity and reality of the things. Then is question why imaginatively constructed nature things are identity and reality? Answer is why it is nature it is a nature, it is a kind of phenomena established by names and symbolism. Right? Why all the inputted phenomena, why the imaginatively constructed nature are identity and reality? Because it is established by names and symbolism. There's one reason. Second is not substantively substanted by intrinsic identity. Therefore, it is called identity and reality. Therefore, imaginatively constructed nature are we call identity and reality, because it is established by names and symbolized, and it doesn't have substanted by instructed identity, is intrinsic identity. Therefore, we call identity and reality. The second, there's another paragraph. So it is from until here, from the Buddha teaching. The next one by Lama Tsongkhapa. The first question and answer equates imagined nature with identity and reality. Giving reason for that, he status affirmative reason. Affirmative reason means established by names and symbolism. Affirmative reason. Right? Then negative reason. The negative reason that it is not established by means by any intrinsic identity. Tell me now, you can think how the inputted phenomena, imaginatively constructed phenomena establish. How they establish? They're established by names and symbolism, but it doesn't have intrinsic identity. This is a negative reason, right? This is based on the question and answer. Then the identity and reality, which is does not exist in the images, is interpreted as establishment or existence by intrinsic identity. Here, the criterion for the existent or non-existent with the intrinsic identity. So what does mean intrinsic identity not existent with the intrinsic identity? The answer here is whether something is established independent of or dependent upon name and symbolism conventions. Right? Now you hear more clear whether something is established independent of or dependent upon name and symbolism convention. This means the imaginative constructed nature phenomena are established by independent of name and symbolic. Therefore, is a identity and reality. Then, so this is very confusing for you because this system of interpretation, wherein nominal establishment is not concomitant with the existent. It is radical disagreement with the system of dialectics centrist. Is talking about is actually is a Pasangika. Dialectics centrist is a Pasangika. Wherein existence are established on the strength of the nominal convention, and thus. So now he talking about two schools. According to the Chitta Mantra school, Chiddamantara school, imputed phenomena or the imaginative constructed phenomena, right? These phenomena not established, cannot be existent by intrinsic identity, right? Also, according to Pasangika, all phenomena cannot exist with the intrinsic identity. But according to Chiddamantara, only the imputed phenomena, only the imaginatively constructed phenomena cannot exist with the intrinsic identity. Rest of the true phenomena, right? The other power, fullest ultimate phenomena are existent with the intrinsic identity. But Pasangika, nothing, none of the phenomena can exist with the intrinsic identity. Therefore, this system of interpretation wherein nominal established in non-concomitant with the existent. Now it's talking differentiation between the two school, which is Chiddamantara, and the dialectics centered is a Pasangika, because with Tibetan we call Thalyur. Therefore, they try to translate directly the meaning of Thalyur, but it's very difficult to understand. This means dialectics centered system is the Pasangika school. The true system disagree also on the meaning of existent and non-existent with the intrinsic identity. Both, Chiddamantara and Pasangika, both just, they're saying the same thing. True system disagree also on the meaning of existent and non-existent with the intrinsic identity. Right? According to Chiddamantara school, from their point of view, the inputted phenomena non-existent with the intrinsic identity. Pasangika also saying same thing. The inputted phenomenon non-existent with the intrinsic identity, but the meaning is big different. Big different. Now you can see here more clearly. Nevertheless, this is very important. When we hold to the existence with the intrinsic identity of this system, we also hold to the establishment with the intrinsic identity of the dialectics. Can you see very clearly? You read very slowly here. Nevertheless, when we hold to the existence with intrinsic identity of this system is Chiddamantara school, we also hold to the establishment with the intrinsic identity of the dialectics, right? And there are some cases wherein it is not so whole according to the former, and yet it is so whole according to the latter. It's definitely, I think, very difficult to understand. So I will explain more clearly. First, you see here, true system agree also on the meaning of existent and non-existent with the intrinsic identity. True system refer to the Chiddamantara and Pasangika. So there's disagree also on the meaning of existent and non-existent with the intrinsic identity. Both they're saying all the imputed phenomena non-existent intrinsically, both of the saying. But the meaning of existent of non-existent intrinsic identity is a big difference. Nevertheless, when we hold means when we think, when we hold, when we grasp, we call grasps, when we grasping, when we graph, when we think. Nevertheless, when we hold through the existence with intrinsic identity of this system. That means if you have a thoughts, if you think, if you have a view, existence with intrinsic identity of this school, we also hold to establishment with the intrinsic identity of the dialectic. Yeah. If you have a view, based on view of existent identity based on the Chitta Mantra school, then you already have, the wrong view according to the Pasangika. When we hold to the existence with the intrinsic identity of this system, Chitta Mantra school, based on the Chitta Mantra school, then we also have the establishment with the intrinsic identity of the dialectics. And there are some cases wherein it is not so held according to the former, according to Chitta Mantra, and yet it is so held according to the latter. Chitta, let's say, the Chitta Mantra proponent. Now I think we better to use the proponent. The Chitta Mantra proponent, they don't believe the inputted phenomena existent with the intrinsic identity. They don't think the inputted phenomena existent with the intrinsic identity. They think they don't believe. But they don't believe according to his own school system. But they also hold establishment with the intrinsic identity of the inputted phenomena according to this school. This school, right? That means now you need to think there's the Chitta Mantra school, the Pasangika school, both saying the inputted phenomena non-existent with the intrinsic identity. Both of them saying same way. The way of thinking is totally different. The Chitta Mantra proponent, they say inputted phenomena non-existent with the intrinsic identity. They don't hold the inputted phenomena exists intrinsically. It have an intrinsic identity. They don't hold. But when Pasangika proponent looking, their view, still they hold the establishment with the intrinsic identity according to the Pasangika school. Then there are some cases wherein it is not so whole according to former, is also whole according to the latter. Mean the Chitta Mantra proponent, they don't hold, they don't believe the inputted phenomena inherently intrinsic identity. It has, but they, according to the Pasangika school, they also hold the intrinsic, non-existent and intrinsic identity. Therefore, there are some cases wherein it is not hold according to the former, the Chitta Mantra proponent, they don't hold according to the former, but they still hold according to the dialectics, Pasangika school. Now is second one, In regard to the second unreality, in the elucidation, the Buddha declares, what is the production unreality, right, of the things? It is relative nature of things, the relative nature or other power is same, because we have a lot of problem because different people translate different ways, different words. Actually same meaning. Imaginatively constructed phenomena, inputted phenomena are same. Relative nature of the things, other power is same. Why so? Why so the production unreality of things? Why so the relative nature of the thing or unreality of the things? Answer is here. Production of the things occurs by force of other. That means, so mainly talking about the conditioned phenomena. It is relative nature of the things. Why so? Again, production of some productions occurs by force of other, therefore because other power, other conditions, and not by the thing's own nature. Therefore, it is called production and reality. Right? So if you ask a question, I'm going to ask you, you answer. What is the production and reality of the things? Answer. It is the relative nature of the things. That means it is the other power nature of the things. Then I ask another question. Why so? Then you can answer, the production of the things occurs by force of other conditions and not by the thing's own nature. Therefore, it is called production and reality. Now more precisely, now here by Lama Tsongkhapa, until from the question to all the end is by the Buddha teaching, by Lama Tsongkhapa. Actual production or real production being non-existent in the relatives of production of the things by itself, mentioned in the phrase, not by that thing's own nature. It is equivalent to the independent productions. That means independent production. Right? And the production unreality is a synonymous. Production unreality and independent production are equivalents. Asanga states in the component because created things are dependently originated. They are produced by influence of the condition and not from themselves. This is called production unreality. Thus, this system declared that the unreality of such as real production in the relative, you does not declare is unreality to be due to the non-establishment. So very easy way, now we have to say the first phenomena, the imputed phenomena, or imaginatively constructed phenomena are identity and reality. Second, we have to say the other power, and was relatively go down to, I think, So inputted phenomena, imaginatively constructed phenomena are identity and reality. The second one, the relative nature of the things or other power nature phenomena are production and reality. Production and reality. This is a production. It is produced. It is a production. The production cannot come independently. It come by dependently, depend on cause condition. Therefore, all the relatives nature are production and reality. Production and reality. Right? That means all the condition, mainly all the condition phenomena are production and reality. Is produced but not produced by independently. All the inputed phenomena are identity and reality because it is established by name and symbolism established, but it doesn't have a intrinsic identity. Therefore, we call identity and reality, production and reality. Okay, so this is, I think we can stop here. I won't confuse you more. Okay, why not now we can have a question and answer. Yes. Any question, Kunji?
Teacher, so far none.
Oh, no question, huh? Wow, very good. I think everybody very intelligent.
No, Geshe is not that. I think what you have just taught is we are trying to sink it in. Okay.
I think it's quite, yeah, but I can say it's simple, but not the simple. First, you need to know all phenomena we can include. So Buddha include all phenomena into three nature. Nature not refer to emptiness. Let's say three kinds of phenomena. All phenomena include into three kinds of phenomena. Right? What are the three kinds of phenomena? Now we can say the imaginatively constructed phenomena, optionally inputted phenomena. What is the second phenomena? The second is the relatives phenomena or other power phenomena. What is the third phenomena? The third, number three, thoroughly established phenomena or ultimate reality. Therefore, first you know three things. Then somebody asks, when you say all phenomena not exist real, is nothing is real there. What does mean? Then Buddha knew those people confused. They don't understand the meaning of the Parayana Paramita teaching. There is simply all phenomena put into three phenomena, which is imaginative constructive phenomena, the relative phenomena, ultimate phenomena. Within the three, first he explained the first one. Why inputted phenomena, imaginatively constructed phenomena, identity and reality. That means it has a kind of identity, but it's not real. Identity and reality mean all the inputted phenomena, identity and reality. Then ask another question: why? Why inputted phenomena, identity and reality? Then Buddha answered from two perspectives, from the affirmative reason and negative reason. Affirmatively, the inputted phenomena is there, is established, is there because of the name and symbolism. Due to name and the symbol, we can establish, we can impute it, the inputted phenomena. It's a good reason. Unfortunately, because unfortunately or negatively, it doesn't have an intrinsic identity. Therefore, we can call all the inputted phenomena identity and reality. The second, what is the production and reality? Because again, production has confusion. Tibetan we call it Zhenwang. Zhenwang, exactly the English directly, other power, influenced by other. Mainly the condition phenomena. It's mainly condition phenomena. Okay, I say mainly, it doesn't mean other phenomena are not other power. Let's say the condition phenomena are production and reality. Why? Because all the condition phenomena, all the power phenomena is a production, is produced from causes condition, but it doesn't produce, it's not independent production. It's a dependent production, it's not independent production. Therefore, all the condition phenomena, all the power phenomena are production and reality. That means it is not independent production because it is dependent production, right? So you have to know three phenomena. When you say unreality, there's a different meaning of the unreality. Then the first phenomena, inputted phenomena are identity and reality. That means, what does mean identity and reality mean? It doesn't have an intrinsic existence. It doesn't have an intrinsic identity. Then it is same as in the Pasangika school. According to Pasangika's point of view, inputted phenomena, it doesn't have an intrinsic identity. It is non-existent. It is not non-intrinsic existent. There's been Chidamandara saying inputted phenomena is, identity and reality. It doesn't have an intrinsic identity. It's same. Also, Pasangika also saying the same way. Yes, I also believe inputted phenomena, it doesn't have an intrinsic identity. But the saying, same way, actually the meaning is different. According to Pasangika, not only the inputted phenomena, other three phenomena also, they doesn't have an intrinsic identity. And also, the Chitamandara proponent, they don't hold, they don't accept, they don't believe the inputted phenomena has an intrinsic identity. Based on their school, they say yes, from my point of view, the inputted phenomena, it doesn't have an intrinsic identity. Who did say? The Chidamadara proponent. Then from the Pasangika point of view, yes, you're saying inputted phenomena doesn't have an intrinsic identity. you don't hold, you are saying, I don't hold, I don't believe the inputted phenomena has a, you saying it doesn't have an intrinsic identity. But still, Pasangika is saying, you are saying, but still you hold intrinsic, so inputted phenomena has an intrinsic identity. Right? Okay, so this is I cannot.
Geshe,
Yes.
there's a question. Actually, there are two questions. One is from Bihua. So Bihua's question is: during meditation, one issue is either when lost or the image of the Buddha fades away, what can I do? And then just focus back on inner body, because not able to visualize back the image, or two, the image arise is different from origin image Buddha, can still continue to focus on the appeared image.
Okay, so actually she's asking, when she visualized the Buddha, for her, there's so many Buddhas body appears, right?
Yes.
This is a question. Therefore, please everybody make sure you understand the object of meditation. First, somehow we have to achieve the serenity. We have to achieve the serenity because we need, the meditative concentration. Otherwise, your mind is very stable, but you cannot see the emptiness directly. So we have to achieve serenity. So you are visualizing the Buddha, yeah, Bodhi say Buddha, symbol you say Buddha. If you visualize the Buddha, in order to achieve serenity is your achievement. Therefore, you are applying the Buddha. Buddha is an object of meditation. Mean you must visualize only one Buddha, not many. So, if you wish to achieve serenity based on visualizing Buddha, then you must visualize only one Buddha. One Buddha. So when you visualize the Buddha, whatever you want, whichever you want, when you visualize the Buddha, first you visualize only the face. Then literally just move arms, hands, and legs. Face or head, then shoulder, arms, and legs. It does mean you have the rough idea or rough image of the Buddha. For the few days, you just visualize, roughly, just, able to appear the Buddha head, shoulder, and feet, just roughly, all there. Then, when your mind becomes quite stable, then you visualize more precisely within the head, 2 eyes, nose, and mouth and air, more precisely. Rest of it is roughly. Few weeks. For the few weeks, you able to see the Buddha, the face and the, all the eyes and very clearly. Then still you move more precisely. So you have to move very gently, step by step. So therefore, if you wish to visualize serenity based on visualize Buddha, only one Buddha, not 2, 3. You are visualizing Buddha in order to accumulating merit, in order to purify negative karma, then you can visualize many Buddhas as much as you can. So what is the second part? second part. Guanyi,
This sorry.
she was saying, you know, cannot see the behind of the Buddha body or something.
Part 2 is the image arise is different from origin image Buddha. Can still continue focus on the appeared image.
Yeah, this one, because original Buddha means, what do you mean? Okay, it depends on what kind of Buddha you can visualize. For example, many of you went to Bodh Gaya. So for you, I think quite easy to remember the Buddha image. So when you visualize, I told you first you visualize roughly. So just focus the same kind of image, first roughly, then slowly, more precisely, more clearly. At the beginning, you should not try to have a very precise and very vivid. First, beginning roughly and cannot see so clearly. Still, if you're able to keep your attention on the Buddha, is okay. It's okay. You should not, you know, force too much yourself to receive more clearly. Yeah. So it's okay to just what does mean, you know, original means up to you. There's another part, right? She's saying that back the Buddha, behind the Buddha or something.
Can we see?
Geshe, yesterday Bihua did mention something. Perhaps I try to explain. If it's different, let her clarify with whatever Kuan Kit has. Is it all right, Kuan Kit and Geshe?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. I think that's what she meant is, she have chosen, for example, Mahabodhi Buddha statue as the object to meditate. So to meditate to achieve shamatha. But as she meditate, even the image of Buddhist Sakyamuni, the image of, instead of Mahabodhi's Buddha image, it become another statue. It's still Buddha Sakyamuni, but another statue, maybe the statue in his house or another painting. So it is still Sakyamuni, but the image become a different image. So if this thing happen, what should she do? She continue to meditate with a new image of the Sakyamuni, or she need to do something else? I think that's what she meant.
Definitely, you know, you should not focus the second one. For example, first you visualize the Buddha image from at the Bodh Gaya temple. Then slowly appear another image of the Buddha. You must stop. You cannot, you know, meditate on the second image of the Buddha, third and fourth. Cannot. Then again, you just, you know, be relax, or you re-visualize the Buddha as at the Bodh Gaya. As much as you can, you collect, reflect again, try to have the original image of the Buddha, which is at the Bodh Gaya. You should not meditate on the second one. Second one is the image of the Buddha, but you should not, you know, visualize the second continuously. You re-visualize the first one. This one I think is very clearly explained in Namrim. Okay, next question.
Geshe, there's a question from Yan Ku. Yan Ku, can you please kindly unmute your mic?
Sure. Hi, Geshe, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Geshe. Thank you for all your explanation. I have actually asked this question before, but wasn't so clear. So can I just repeat the question? The other time I asked was, we say that for the water, it can appear as water to human, it's nectar to deva, and even home to fish. But the thing is that I still have the feeling that, but the water cannot be designated as chocolate or a car. So there seems to be something from the object side that defines how the mind is designating designating the phenomenon. So to say that the phenomenon is 100% coming from the conventional mind, imputing it, I have this difficulty. So am I still adhering or grasping to things are coming from the object side and therefore grasping to certain level of subtle existence, in intrinsic existence? Sorry, Geshe.
No. First one, look at. Usually, when we feel thirsty, we need something to satisfy our thirsty, right?
Yes.
So, in order to satisfy thirsty, we need a kind of liquids. So, there's a liquid in the cup. When we look at, for our is water. It's just simple water. For Deva is nectar. Other for like blood and so and so. These are very correct. Actually, what you have a doubt. Yes, I can understand. This is our designation. We can designate as a water, but we cannot designate the water as a chocolate in a car, right?
Yes.
Therefore, you are saying in order to establish the thing as a water, something must be from the object side, right?
Yes, because
Never this idea, this doubt. Who really established the liquid is water?
my karma.
No. Actually, you can designate everything, anything, everything. You can designate. You can say, the chocolate is coffee. Coffee is chocolate. The table is chair. Chair is table. You can designate. You can impute as a chair, table, chair, chair, and table. Make sure there's I think I will have a book on. Let me see if I can find.
Geshe,
Okay.
can I add?
I will read a few sentences. I just get benefit for everybody. In order to designate, in order to establish the thing in like a chair, table, whatever, three things is very important. I think maybe you heard before. Well known to the world, that is, they are known to analytical, conventional consciousness and are posited by being well known to them. Right? If you designate that water is a chocolate, you can, but worldly people cannot accept. They're not going to accept the water is chocolate. But still you can name. Second, not undermined by another conventional valid cognizer. If you designate, establish the water is chocolate, then other conventional valid cognizer can undermine what you named the water is chocolate. And number three, not undermined by the reasoning consciousness analyzing the ultimate emptiness. So in order to establish the thing in like table, chair, water, chocolate, whatever, the three features are very important. Well known to the world, not undermined by the another conventional valid cognition, not undermined by the reasoning consciousness analyzer, the ultimate emptiness. When you name something, if you have these three characteristics, then you are okay. Otherwise, if you designate table as a chair, yeah, you can designate, but the worldly people cannot accept. Second is undermined by other valid cognizer consciousness. Also, it can be undermined by the ultimate consciousness. So you need to know these three things. So therefore, if you read, the Lamrim, particularly about the speech insight, is explained these three. So what is your next question?
Sorry, Kashila. I can understand the designation is coming from the mind, but the thing is that, for example, water, I cannot, for example, if I'm designating a car, I cannot drink the car because the car is not water. So it's not just a matter of the conventional consensus accepting a designation, but rather...
Okay. What you mean? Okay, let's say, okay, for I give you an example. You are totally went to new place. The new place, the new area, the people call water name as a khar. Khar as a water. Okay, according to their tradition, they designate for the water khar. Khar water. Right? Understand?
Yep, understand.
When you are there, somebody asks, are you thirsty? You say, yes, I'm very thirsty. Oh, please offer her a khar. They will offer you khar, right?
Sure.
It can satisfy your thirsty?
Yes.
Yes. Right? Oh,
Yeah.
I need to go somewhere. I cannot walk. Oh, why not we offer her a khar? So water, what they will bring? They will bring
Okay.
something like a wheel. Yes. Therefore, look at car, water, whatever is just based on our worldly perception. Doesn't mean now you can see there's not such as say, oh, this is water always everywhere. It can be car everywhere. Right now we are talking about based on this world where we live. In this world, car cannot be drink. Water cannot be dry. If you go other part of the world, water can be dry, car can be drink. It's just name.
Gershila, putting aside just the naming of water or car, because I'm just saying when the thing appear to me, there is something from the object side that is different, because I cannot, putting aside the label, I cannot be drinking a car, even if I don't call it a car or a water. But the fact is, a car, it can't quench my thirst. So that is not coming from my mind, that is coming from the object. So that is the problem that I am struggling with. Sorry, Kashila.
I think you still have difficulty to understand how things designated, whom designated, because you still thinking, yes, can you establish something aside from name and thoughts? Can you think there's something like a water, cut, whatever, is something exists, established without name and thoughts? Can you think?
No, can't.
No. That's mean, so when this now, for example, this day for us, when you think what does mean car must be like the driving with for the wheel or strings. Otherwise, we cannot name everything as a car because we have the habit. We have a very strong habit to say this is a car. The car is always thing is established from its own side. So due to the habituation, we have this problem. Okay. So next question.
Geshe Lo, actually there are two more questions.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. One is from Tanya. Tanya, can you please unmute your mic?
Yes. Thank you, Genla. My question is also one I've asked you before. It's just I'd like to provide context because I think I still have a doubt. That's why I'm asking again. So it's about the object of meditation, and I asked you about which Buddha to focus on because obviously some Buddhas are easier than others because they've got less complicated, so because I'm a Westerner and I work and I'm busy, I'm concerned if I choose Shakyamuni from Bodh Gaya at Mahabodhi, then in my tantric practice, when I have to do stabilization and serenity meditation on a yidam, but I haven't yet. I'm not explaining this well, but if I've only got one object, then I can't do the practice of, for example, focusing on Yamantaka. So I'm concerned because I am a Westerner and it's probably not going to, it will take me a long time to achieve serenity because I don't have the same amount of time. Like hopefully it will happen, but like I'm concerned when I'm in, doing my other practice, that I'm not going to be focusing on Yamantaka or a different,
Exactly, because Lamrim is mentioned the 5 objects of meditation for purifying your behavior, right?
Yeah.
So if your mind is, you have the balanced mind is in balance, so you can choose any object of meditation. If your mind is dominant by attachment, then you need to use a particular object. So you have to make very separate. So I will use this object for achieving serenity. That means you need a particular object, Buddha or Yidam, whatever. You need one object. This object you should not change when you do meditation for achieving serenity. Always just one object. Let's say Buddha Shakyamuni. Buddha Shakyamuni is always my meditation object for achieving serenity.
Okay.
At the same time, definitely you have to do all the sadhana. When you do sadhana, you should not worry about, need to visualize Buddha. You put aside the Buddha. You mainly visualize Yamantaka, so and so. But when you're doing Yamantaka sadhana, if you really go through the proper visualization, concentration, also it's good. This kind of practice become, conducive to achieve serenity.
Mm-hmm.
So you do visualize all the yidam in order to do your daily practice, in order to complete daily practice. But for the achieving serenity, you just choose one. And also you said, of course everybody say I'm very busy. Yes, I know, I can see everybody is very busy. But sometimes people, happy to have a retreat. Maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, like 5 days. For the 5 days, you just do, meditation for achieving serenity. For the 5 days, all your daily practice, you put into short. Everything, do it in the short way. Then you mainly practice for achieving serenity. Therefore, you should not mix. This is my object for achieving serenity. Other are I visualize in order to do my daily practice. When you follow your daily practice, when you do the proper visualization, it really becomes the conducive condition to achieve serenity.
Thank you. That's really clear. I feel much happier now. Thank you.
Okay, because next time when you ask question, because you need to speak a bit slower.
Oh, sorry.
Because I'm not English speaker, sometimes I don't understand your question.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
Okay, next question.
Next question comes from SS9. Geshe, when I meditate, the image does not appear initially. I see a patch of darkness. Then I begin to draw the Buddha's image mentally, from the head down to the legs. I'm not able to visualize the full image mentally all at once or at one instant. Is my meditation method correct? Thank you.
I think because if you have this problem, okay, at the beginning, when you try to visualize something, you cannot visualize, it's totally become, like you can see piece of darkness in your mind. You cannot see anything else, just darkness. For them, then you should not try to meditate on anything. You just, be relaxed. You must have a picture of the Buddha, or you must have a, statue of the Buddha. You just open your eyes, look at the Buddha statue for a while, then try to remember. It's easy to say, remember the Buddha without looking at the picture or statue. Try to remember how it is look like. When you try to remember, first you try to remember only the head. You cannot remember, look at the photo and try to remember. Look at the photo, try to remember. So you do this kind of quite often. Then slowly when you do meditation, you can see the Buddha head. Then slowly you move into the two shoulders. Then hands and legs. Therefore, whoever do meditation, at the beginning you feel very darkness, you cannot see anything, nothing appears to your mind, you should not continue. Otherwise, it can be conducive condition to reach you into, I think, laxity and dullness. Because many monks who do a lot of meditation in the mountain, retreat for many years, then after many years, after a few years, their mind becomes very dull. They cannot remember things very clearly because they have been doing this kind of meditation without appearing things very precisely, clearly. Just do, kind of meditation without appearing things very properly. Therefore, you should not do this meditation. You stop and use a picture or a statue, look at the Buddha and try to understand, try to remember. Okay, next question.
Geshe, can I ask a follow-up question based on what I've asked? Okay, what happened is when I did exactly what you have suggested. Look at the picture. And after looking at the picture, then of course I don't look at the picture. I try and close my eyes and try to meditate and try to visualize the picture. I many a time I still see darkness. So what I did is I can remember the features of the pictures. So I started drawing it mentally in my mind, a picture of the Buddha that I'm meditating. Of course, what I'm saying is that I'm not able to achieve a meditation serenity of where I can see the Buddha very clearly at one go. I still see a very dark black background, and whatever that I can see or visualize is based on what I can draw. Maybe what I've imputed mentally, how the Buddha image looks like. That's what I'm concerned about, whether I'm doing it right or wrong.
Okay, at the beginning, when you say after you look at the painting, you close your eyes, right? You should not. When you close your eyes, suddenly everything looks like darkness. You close your eyes. You close slightly and remember the picture. And also you saying, you are drawing yourself in. So you are just visualizing the Buddha in your mind, step by step. In order to draw the Buddha image, you need a, like a example. You need a things to draw. You should not. Therefore, you read a textbook and try to understand what the Buddha is look like. Then you make a copy from based on the teaching, based on the photo in your mind. Then you know, at the beginning, yes, you should not think you can have a very clear and vivid. At the beginning, if you're able to see, you know, quite, you know, very incomplete, still you just focus your attention on it. Then next day it become more clearly. And also you should not become very panic. Also just attention, pay attention. Attention, focus on the rough one. Then slowly become more clearly. So at the beginning, please everybody should not close your eyes. Okay? Everybody do like this, close. Of course it's become darkness. When you open slightly, there's a light around you. Okay, everybody, so thank you so much for attending our Q&A session class. And today is Sunday. And have a happy Sunday. Be safe and take care.
Thank you, Geshe.